Hey everybody, Thomas Murphy here again with another quick DIY training tool video. Hopefully this one goes a little bit faster. That no hang one I realize now is like 12 minutes long, but this one is a little bit simpler. So try to be quicker. So this is what a lot of people call a wrist wrench. It's a very simple device. And basically, what it does is it trains your kind of wrist flexion. So the way I'll do another video going over the actual way you use it and have proper footage. But essentially, the way it works is just kind of a wide grip dowel, and you roll it up, and you put weight on the end, and then as you lift that weight, you use it kind of like a no-hang device. It wants to spin out of your hand. So essentially, what you wind up doing is you wind up resisting that spin. So in this case, it's trying to spin out of my hand and force it this way. So I'm having to put pressure, opposing that. So it's supposed to be very good for, again, this kind of wrist flexion. And I think it was originally it was used for arm wrestling, because obviously when you're arm wrestling, a lot of it is that kind of motion. Not that I'm an arm wrestler or really know, but it kind of makes sense as to why you would want to train that. And also for grip sport athletes, that's kind of a new, I don't know how new, but like this niche thing that I've been seeing pop up more and more. But the reason I wanted to try it out was, I don't know if you can see, but I have kind of thin wrists. And they've always felt a little bit weak. And one of the things I really notice is if I'm on kind of a wristy, for lack of a better term, sloper, where I'm really having to engage like that, it doesn't feel super stable. And sometimes it'll kind of pop out of place, like in and out of place. It usually doesn't hurt or anything, but sometimes it is enough of a little shock load that I do wind up falling. It kind of kicks me off. So I was looking for ways to get stronger at that kind of like angled hold. And I came across some info by this guy, Yves Gravel. If you haven't heard of him, he's a Canadian climber, super strong climber, grip sport athlete now, and he has a bunch of YouTube videos and a lot of stuff on Instagram that you can find. But I've found his info kind of popping up here and there, so I've been trying to sort of combine it into one place so it's a little bit easier for people to get to it. So that's where I got all of this info. None of this is really my, the training stuff isn't really my idea. But essentially, what he said that he found is that after trying this stuff, and I'm not sure if it came from his training in grip sport specifically, or if he was doing it independently, but he found things like the Beastmaker bad slopers, that after training with this device for a while, he felt way more confident, and just on slopers in general, his kind of wrist strength went way up. So that was the main reason I started trying it, was because of the info that he put out there. But in terms of the device, and not the training itself, the device was super easy to make. So it's just a section of dowel. I just went to my big box home store and got some of it. I've cut it down. It started off a bit longer because I wasn't sure how long it needed to be, and then trying to play with it to make it a little bit more kind of space efficient. So I cut it down to be 10 inches long, so about 254 millimeters. And the diameter of this one is 2 inches, so 51 millimeters. I think they're like two official sizes, and I think it's like 2.25 or 2.5 inches in diameter. This one feels really good to me just because it's just, the diameter is just big enough that I can't quite touch I can just barely touch my thumb to my fingers. So I can't get like a wrap grip or anything that I think would make it a little bit easier. So it still feels pretty open hand, but it's not super, awkward and chunky. So it feels like the kind of thing that you can tailor to your own hand size, which is kind of nice. but then all I did was, cut it to length, drill holes in the end, and then cut my cord to length. So I've been, you can see here, I've been kind of playing with how long the cord needs to be. But essentially all it winds up doing is rolling up, and you don't really even need to roll it that much, but I cut it so that I could potentially roll it like a full rotation here. Or I guess it's like 1.5 rotations technically, like fully. I never really do it that much, but that seemed to be the best length for me to make sure that when you have it all the way rolled up, that the cord doesn't get in your way. Just because it's with this way, it's just a single, simple kind of angled bit of cord here. But that's essentially all you need, and you can, kind of play with it and do whatever you want. But this one was cool. There are, again, like the no hang device, there are commercially available ones. Usually the ones that you'll see hang down, and then they have like a stiff metal bar here, which is kind of nice because it doesn't make the V angle. The cord goes straight down, and then there's like a metal bar across, and then straight up, and that means when you roll it, it rolls like straight up, and you don't need to worry about it getting in your way. But the way that the dimensions of this and the way that the angles work, it works pretty well for me. It never gets in my way or anything. And it seems like it's just better in terms of balancing, making sure the weight balances in the middle and you don't have to worry about it being lopsided or anything. Yeah, so that is the no hang, the homemade wrist wrench device that I've been trying out. And again, I'll go over in another video the actual training and kind of talk a little bit more about the things that Yves went over, because he's a super good resource. Definitely check him out if you haven't seen it. All right, that is it for now. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.